everyone, and a huge welcome back to BREWducate. You have journeyed with us through Section 1 conversations, Section 2 monologues, and Section 3 academic discussions. Today, in the final episode of our complete IELTS listening series, we face the ultimate challenge, Section 4, a pure academic lecture. Here, a single speaker delivers a detailed talk on the evolution of electric vehicles, a classic IELTS-style topic blending history, environment, technology, and future predictions. Section 4 is the hardest because it demands sustained concentration, note-taking skills, precise vocabulary, and the ability to ignore distractors over a longer stretch.
But here's the good news. With the strategies we have built across the series, you can turn this into your strongest section. We'll go through the questions, play the full lecture, reveal every answer with traps explained, and explore high-level skills that separate Band 7 from Band 8+. Let's finish strong. If you're ready, hit like now and let's dive in. Section 4 is always a monologue on an academic subject. Science, history, environment, or social issues. No interaction, just dense information with signposting words like however, furthermore, for example, in summary, or let's now turn to. The question type that we'll be dealing today are question 31 to 35, note completion, question 36 to 38, multiple choice, question 39 to 40, sentence completion. So let's start. You get about 40 seconds before the audio start. Use it wisely. This is where prediction becomes your superpower. Pause the video if you want to attempt it first. Otherwise, grab your notes and let's start your test. Let's test your skills.
Good afternoon, everyone. Today, I'd like to discuss the evolution of electric vehicles, or EVs as they're commonly known, and examine their growing importance in addressing environmental challenges. Electric vehicles have a much longer history than many people realize. The idea of electric propulsion for vehicles dates back to the early 19th century. In fact, the first practical electric vehicle was developed in 1832 by a Scottish inventor named Robert Anderson. It was a basic carriage powered by batteries, but it laid the foundation for future developments. EVs really took off in popularity during the late 19th and early 20th centuries. By the early 1900s, they accounted for nearly 30% of all vehicles on the roads in the United States. Drivers preferred them because they were quiet, easy to start, and didn't produce the unpleasant smells associated with gasoline-powered cars. However, their dominance was short-lived. The decline began due to the discovery of large oil reserves, which made gasoline both cheap and widely available. Another key factor was the invention of the electric starter motor in 1912 by Charles Kettering, which removed one of the biggest inconveniences of gasoline engines, the need to crank them by hand. By the 1920s, electric vehicles had virtually disappeared from the market. Renewed interest emerged in the 1970s following the global oil crisis, but real progress only came in the 1990s. A significant milestone was the launch of the GM EV1 in 1996, which, although ultimately discontinued, demonstrated the potential of modern electric cars. Since then, companies like Tesla have pushed the boundaries further with long-range, high-performance models. Let's now turn to the environmental benefits. Perhaps the most obvious advantage is that EVs produce zero tailpipe emissions. This is crucial for reducing air pollution in cities. Furthermore, if the electricity used to charge them comes from renewable sources, studies indicate that greenhouse gas emissions could be cut by up to 70% compared to conventional vehicles. In addition, electric motors are highly efficient, converting over 70% of the electrical energy into actual motion, whereas traditional internal combustion engines manage only about 20%. Of course, there are challenges to overcome. One major issue is the production of batteries, which requires rare earth minerals. Mining these materials can cause significant environmental damage. There's also the problem of range anxiety, although technological advances are rapidly addressing this. To tackle these problems, various solutions are being implemented. Battery recycling programs are expanding, and governments worldwide are investing heavily in charging networks. For example, Norway has become a global leader in EV adoption. Thanks to tax incentives and other policies, over 80% of new car sales there are now electric, resulting in substantially cleaner urban air. Looking ahead, experts are optimistic. By 2040, it is predicted that electric vehicles will account for more than half of all new car sales globally. Innovations such as solid-state batteries are expected to offer faster charging and even greater efficiency. In summary, electric vehicles have come a long way from their early beginnings, and they represent a vital part of our transition to sustainable transport. Thank you for your attention.
Whew, that was dense, right? Section 4 tests your highest level listening stamina. Even you missed several today. Remember, every miss today brings you closer to nailing it tomorrow. Now, let's go through every answer, the exact traps, and the skill you're developing. Answer to question number 31, 1832. The learning here is train prediction from heading. They tell you the answer type. In this case, that's year. Now, the vocabulary note to be taken here is practical or first workable versus earlier experiments. Answer to question number 32 is 30. Nearly signals approximation. Write exactly what you hear. Numbers in section 4 test precision under pressure. Answer to question number 33, large oil. The trap here is later mentions of cheap gasolines are distractors. So, if you must have heard the audio, which for sure you must have heard, it mentions cheap gasoline, which is a distractor. The cause is the discovery itself. Discovery of large oil reserves. Now, answer to question number 34, 1912. The learning here is ears often follow inventions. Practice writing numbers quickly and accurately. Answer to question number 35, GMEV1. The trap here was Tesla is mentioned later but not the key revival model. Use capital letters for brand, model names and spell exactly as heard. Now, moving to question 36 to 38. The answer to question number 36 was B. Now, the distractors here is lower production cost and reduced maintenance are real advantages, but not called the most obvious. Listen for exact qualifiers. Answer to question number 37 is B, and it's a classic contrast distractor. 20% appears for petrol engine right before. Always note the comparison. Answer to question number 38 is again B. The learning here is link examples to specific claims. Other countries like the US or China appears as distractors. Now moving to question 39 and 40. Now the answer to question number 39 is rare earth minerals, and it's been paraphrased. Manufacture of EV batteries requires mining of. Matches the idea exactly. Listen for environmental drawbacks. Answer to question number 40 is half. More than half is a common IELTS expression. Do not write 50% or FIFTY and then percent. Unless exactly heard, stick to word limit. Section 4 typically allows strong scorers to gain 8+ overall because it rewards the highest listening skills, but common score killers include missing numbers, falling for distractors, or weak paraphrasing. Here's how to overcome them. Prediction from headings and structure. Headings and subpoints guide you. Predict answer type, year, percentage, resource model, etc. This is your roadmap through the lecture. Now, multiple choice distractor recognition. Every wrong option is mentioned. Listen for qualifiers like most obvious. According to the lecture or contrast, in this case example, while petrol engines achieve only 20%, electric motors reach over 70%. Moving to next, sentence and note completion paraphrasing. IELTS rarely use exact question words. Train your synonyms and train for synonyms and collocations. Zero tailpipe emissions, rare earth minerals, more than half, to answer or to name an example for few. Now, fourth one, number, name accuracy, and signposting. Practice quick, accurate writing. Pay attention to signposts. In fact, however, furthermore, for example, let's now turn to in summary. They signal important shift. The lecture in section 4 flows logically. First history, then decline, revival, advantages, challenges, future. Use this to stay oriented. Perfect. From official patterns, environmentals and technological topics like this are frequent. Your vocabulary around emission, efficiency, adoption, and minerals will serve you well in future tests and real life. Congratulations, you have now mastered all 4 sections of IELTS listening, from everyday conversations to this challenging academic lecture on electric vehicles. You have learned traps, strategies, prediction, paraphrasing, speaker tracking, and sustained focus. Remember, every time you miss an answer today, you are one step closer to nailing it tomorrow. Consistency beats talent when talent doesn't practice consistently. Keep showing up, keep listening actively, review your mistakes without judgment. Your dream band score is built one focus session at a time. If this series helped you, please like this video, share it with fellow test takers, and subscribe so you catch more BREWducate content. Drop your score for this section 4 practice in the comments or tell me which section was toughest for you. I read every comment. Thank you for joining the entire series. Keep pushing forward, take care, and I'll see you in the next video. You did amazing. Well done. Bye-bye.
BREWducate, a sip at a time. New mindset, flip the switch and catch the flow. Level up your vibe and watch your knowledge grow. Get smarter, one sip at a time.